What's up everybody, Daniel Day back again with another video for DDay Gaming, and today I'm going to be unboxing this guy. What is this? Well, this is the new Stream Deck from Elgato Gaming. I have been waiting for this thing to arrive for months at this point, so as you can probably imagine, I am super anxious to cut this bad boy open and start playing around with it. So if you're into that sort of thing, stick around and I will do just that right after the break. Okay, so like I mentioned in the intro, I feel like I've been waiting on this thing forever, but it is finally here. I actually pre-ordered it on Amazon the day that the thing got announced, and at that point there wasn't a whole lot of information available on it, and I certainly had no clue what in the world I was going to do with it. I just knew that it looked really cool, and I wanted one. I suppose that is the definition of an impulse buy. But like I said, that's been many, many months ago, and in that intervening time, I've thought of several things that I would like to try to do with this thing as far as automating my workflow. Now, I suppose it's probably a good idea for the uninitiated to point out exactly what this thing is. You know, in a nutshell, it is essentially a little 15-key keypad that allows you to bind all sorts of things to each of those keys. It's fully customizable, and the really cool thing is each of those keys is actually a little screen, which means that you can take your own little custom artwork or icons, whatever makes sense to you, and put it on that button. So you click the button and it does something, right? Now, a common mistake with this is that it is only for streamers. I think part of that is because it's Elgato Gaming that is selling it, and of course they sell streamer capture cards, right? But that's not actually strictly true. You can also use it with all sorts of other things. You can use it with several websites like Twitch and Twitter, for instance, and you can certainly also use it with Windows applications as well as normal Windows functions, you know, volume up, volume down, play, pause. You can pop a website with it. You know, you can do just all sorts of stuff. But certainly the focus is on streaming and streaming software, and so that means that it is integrated right out of the box with Elgato's own Game Capture HD software, of course, and things like OBS. So yeah, really anxious to see what all I can do with this thing. Now, it plugs up via USB 2.0. I find it very interesting that on all of the packaging and logos in that, they don't show the cord, but there is in fact actually a USB connection that's required for this thing to operate, and it is Mac and PC compatible. I believe that this thing costs about $150 or somewhere thereabouts. I know that that was kind of a complaint when this thing got announced. I saw a lot in comment threads and things like that about the fact that this little guy cost $150, but certainly there is a lot of pro equipment that already existed that served functions just like this that cost a whole lot more than that. So certainly your mileage will vary as far as whether it is worth the money or not, but for me it just seemed too intriguing to pass up. Also wanted to mention up front, this is not a sponsored video. Picked this bad boy up with my own money. So I don't want to wait any longer, want to go ahead and cut this bad boy open. Got the official DDay Gaming hilariously oversized knife. I hope that it is up to the task. I'm going to go ahead and move the camera real quick just so we can get a better view of the unboxing. Not that I'm anticipating a whole lot to be in here, so give me just a second and I will be right back. Okay, so I figured before we cut this bad boy open, we would take a look at the packaging really quickly. Obviously on the front here, we have got a photo of the Stream Deck itself, sans USB cable for some reason, and on the back here, we have got our first glimpse at the Stream Deck software. This is actually the software that you'd use to customize this device. Cool little dark theme going on there, and here we've got our first view of the Stream Deck actually set up on the included stand. So nothing else really interesting going on with the packaging here. Pretty much just the front and the back is kind of cool. So flip that back over and get our knife and cut this bad boy open. Try not to cut any important digits off here. Let's see here. There are actually little pull tabs to open this up, but I thought that wouldn't be nearly as fun as using the official unboxing knife, right? So that's what we're doing. Flip this guy over and open that up. Just kind of set that off to the side, and there you go. That is your first glimpse at the actual Stream Deck. Now, obviously, all of the buttons are kind of blacked out, and that's because, as I mentioned earlier, those are actually screens, and this thing isn't receiving any power right now. But totally dig from a packaging perspective that it's just kind of right there when you open it. There's some nice little padding in here to keep it from kind of moving around. It looks like right here we have got some, looks like quick start guide, kind of explaining that you need to plug it in and download the software and all of that fun stuff, it looks like. And yeah, got the device itself. Let's go ahead and pull that out of here. Hopefully that is kind of sort of in focus. Probably not great though. But yeah, so that's kind of that. It is very, very thin. Kind of got a little bit of a taper to it if you look there. And also, I didn't realize this, but the USB cable is permanently attached. I didn't know if it was something that you just kind of plugged in after the fact, but nope, it is totally there. Also, nice touch. There's little non-slip grips on the bottom here. I like that quite a bit as well. This cable seems long, but not crazy long, so that does mean that I'm sure for some folks that might create a little bit of a problem, but you know, you don't want an extra 5 feet of USB cable laying around on your floor either. So, but for me, it's going to be perfect. So that is great. And it looks like, what else we got in here as I hit the camera? We have got a little bit more documentation here, as well as the stand itself. So yeah, let's take a look at this real quick. Okay, so that lifts up, and then these do too. Huh. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so there is a little piece of rubber type stuff here to keep from scratching up your Stream Deck, and basically, I guess that guy sits there, so you can sit it totally flat, right, other than the taper, or you can lift this up and kind of bend these legs here out and adjust it. So what's really, really neat, I'm going to take the Stream Deck back off and get this back in frame for you guys. What's really, really neat about this is that it's kind of multi-faceted as far as the adjustments go. So you can fold this piece out here and stick it in one of these kind of 4 angles, depending on what you're going for. And I thought for a second that was kind of all that it did, but then I realized that these little tabs right here push out separately. So that actually means you can go even lower, right? And those kind of snap in. So it gives you a whole nother set of adjustments versus the larger plate. So that's a pretty nifty solution, huh? And I kind of dig that. That's a good kind of angle there. So yeah, pretty neat. And it appears as though that is everything that is in the box. So I am going to go ahead and plug this up to the computer and move the camera back around, and I will be right back with you guys in just a second to kind of give you some initial impressions. Okay, so this is my first time trying to record my desktop, so hopefully this is going to work out okay. I went ahead and downloaded the Stream Deck software for Windows from Elgato's website. It was super, super quick and automatically just kind of popped up, and this is what it looks like. So what you're actually seeing here is a real-time view of the icons that are on the device itself. You can see over here, and you can tweak all of them. I played around with this a little bit just so that I could go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a demonstration really quickly. So for starters, there is a gear icon up here that you can click on, and basically it lets you do stuff like change the brightness of the keys, do software and firmware updates to the device itself. This is also where you would go ahead and plug your accounts in. Right now it looks like you have got Twitch, you've got Twitter, and you have also got Tippy Stream. I do not have a Tippy Stream account at the moment, but I did go ahead and plug in my Twitch and Twitter accounts there. There's also a layout tab, which is actually pretty cool because it's going to let you export all the little customizations you make, which keeps them safe for when you go in and start tweaking stuff here when you don't know what you're doing, you know, like me, and you wreck everything. So very, very cool that you can restore it. But it also means that you can import little button setups and that other people have created. So I'm very, very anxious to see what the community does with this thing. So that's kind of it for the preferences tab. Other than that, you know, pretty basic layout. You click a button here, what it does is displayed down here, and if you want to change it, you select an option from the list here, and you just drag it over top of it, right? This particular guy right here is kind of a default button, and it basically will start flashback recording in the Elgato software, kind of hop back 5 minutes if you forgot to press the record button, which I do all the time. Hopefully I press the record button for this, right? Anyway, yeah, so you've also got a title box here. You can type whatever in, and you will actually see that that appears up here as well as instantly on the key itself. Now with those titles, you can actually choose where you want them, kind of centered at the top or at the bottom, and that's kind of that. You click off of that and it is good to go. I am not going to click that button though, because I am using the Elgato software to record my desktop right now. That would probably wreck some things, right? Other than that, you have got the ability to switch some scenes here. These are all just default buttons. This will mute and unmute live commentary. I tested that and it works great. Yeah, just all sorts of stuff here. One that is very cool is this guy right here. Elgato kind of snuck this into the middle, and if you press it, it will actually launch the Elgato congratulations screen for a Stream Deck. So that is an example of it launching a website by pressing one of these buttons. And if you want to feel super special and super appreciated by Elgato, you can just spam that a few times, and well, there you go, right? So anyway, back to the software. You have also got some of these functions here that were kind of pre-built, but I went ahead and played around with them. This is a Twitter hook button that basically will tweet out a test tweet. So, you know, there's just a little text message that I threw in there, or test message rather, and yeah, so you press that, and sure enough, my Twitter feed basically popped up a message saying testing out my new Elgato Stream Deck, and a whole bunch of exclamation points. This one I'm actually going to go ahead and demonstrate. This guy right here is just posting in your Twitch chat a predetermined message. Now remember, this title is actually just what shows up on the button. It is this right here that actually would show up, the message section. So let's go back over to my Twitch page here, and you see I've tested this a couple of times already, so I didn't look like a big old idiot on this video. But yeah, so that is where it's going to show up, and if I press that button, sure enough, right there, that shows up, and you notice there is a little green checkbox. Let's click that a few times. Little green checkbox lets you know, even when this software is not up, that the message did in fact go through, which I thought was a very, very nice touch. Sorry about that, camera cut out. Okay, so if you look over here on the right hand sidebar, you'll notice that you've got all of these kind of actions, or categories of actions that you can click on and do stuff. So obviously for the Elgato game capture, you have got all of these, the flashback recording that we saw, starting and stopping the streaming, muting live commentary. These things are all going to come in handy for me, I'm sure. You've got Tippy Stream hook right here for scene element, and for OBS you have got a few as well. Obviously for Twitter you've got the ability to tweet that I mentioned a moment ago, and for Twitch you can do stuff like switch chat to sub only, or swap back out of that. You've got the viewers button here. You can post a message in chat, and you can enable and disable slow chat, which is also very cool. What is particularly neat to me, and I mentioned this earlier, is the system ones, because again, this is not totally limited to streaming purposes. So you've got a multimedia button here that you could say, for instance, drag on and replace that. And this is kind of what this would look like. So again, the title, if you want text there, and then as far as this goes, you can actually click this drop down. It's all context sensitive, and you can add a button to go to the previous music track, play or pause, stop the music, mute it, volume up, volume down, just all sorts of stuff. And what's neat is these little default icons, you'll notice, will change. Now, of course, you can totally override those, but it's neat that they've got some different options as far as that goes. So if you wanted to do that, and then make another one that was volume down. I'm just really wrecking this, huh? You could do that. You notice that the icon here is different, and they show up instantly on the screen. So yeah, pretty cool. Now let me show you the website hotkey. I thought that was pretty cool, so I am just going to overwrite this with the website command here. Click that. and I don't necessarily need a title here. I'm going to paste my really, really long YouTube URL in here that I went ahead and copied. For those of you that are not aware, if you do not have 100 subscribers, you cannot have your own custom URL on YouTube. You get this gobbledygook instead. So that is the boat that I am in. I am working towards that. Hopefully by the end of the year, I'll have 100 subscribers and we can get rid of this junk right here. So once you copy and paste, you're hopefully much shorter than this URL in here. So I should be able to click off of that and then select this button, and it should pop my YouTube channel in my default browser. And look at that, it totally did. And also looks like I got a couple of new subscribers today. That is fantastic. I was at 34 yesterday when I looked, so that is great. So whoever you are, I really appreciate it. That totally makes my day. That is fantastic. So yeah, you know, easy way, one-click access to pull up your YouTube channel. And actually, I don't like that icon a whole lot, so maybe I want to change that. That is as simple as double-clicking down here and selecting the super conveniently already pre-downloaded YouTube icon, and that's that. You see it instantly changes on the screen. No need to do anything else, and if I press that again, I have pulled back up my YouTube channel. Does that count as 2 views? I don't think that counts as 2 views. So anyway, that is kind of a super brief introduction to the software. It seems to be super slick. It downloaded super quick, very, very easy to use as far as dragging stuff. And I'm super impressed with just how quickly the stuff syncs over to this device when you change it here. It seems to be in real time. So yeah, I am super anxious to start breaking stuff and playing around with this, trying to learn what all I can do with it. But yeah, very, very cool. Totally dig the device. It is, you know, very, very lightweight. Totally like the stand. It's small. You know, I know obviously you could do all of this with macro keys on a keyboard or something like that, but I just really, really like having this dedicated little device with the light up screen and that I can even see in the dark and you know, use it for all of this type of stuff. So yeah, really, really anxious to play around with this some more. So I suppose that is as good a place as any to go ahead and start wrapping this video up. Just wanted to say thank you if you have made it this far. I really, really appreciate it. Wanted to give a special shout out to my subscribers, all 36 of you today. Thank you very much. You guys totally rock. And if anybody is watching this that has not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, maybe poke around, check out some of these lovely videos right here. And if my particular brand of rambling is your cup of tea, maybe consider clicking that subscribe button. It is totally free for you, helps me out quite a bit, and also helps me work towards my 100 subscriber goal, and totally makes my day. Also, for anybody that would like to find me other places on the internet, you can follow me on Twitter at @DDayGuy, and I promise I won't just keep clicking this button to spam the same test message there over and over again. And you can also follow me on Twitch, where I stream games quite frequently, where I think this guy is going to come in handy. My username there is DDay on Twitch. So once again, everybody, just want to say thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one.